Welcome to another EBX discussion. And hope everybody doing great. And salute my soldiers and soldierettes. Because if we alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day. Because there are always those that body laid to rest, but their spirit lived on, especially if they were righteous. That's why I always honor my ancestors, or our ancestors, and honor our families, anyone that we held dear. May they rest in peace if they transition. May they rest in peace and in power. And may all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. Because I've got to place that good energy out there no matter what. And I honor thy mother, I honor thy father, and I honor thy sister, and I honor thy brother. Because honor is a wonderful thing. And if you can get that in your spirit and keep it in your spirit, and man, it makes for a great life. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this, because we are in that time. I'm looking more at the brothers and sisters. I'm getting away from those that might not be self-aware. Only can help you for so long. Focus on the ones that's strengthening and standing with all of us. We are the ones that's standing together in this spiritual battle that a lot of us are in. And it's a lot of ways, a lot of things we can do to fight these little, I'll say, human battles, spiritual warfare battles, our own internal battles, which can be the most challenging. But that's why I'm here to bring this podcast today. And sometimes, brothers and sisters, not that some of us are not doing this, but we have to have a quiet place. I'm not saying that we don't take action and we don't get out in the community and we don't do things to make that powerful wave go through this spiritual realm strong, because and that takes action. Can't just sit and pray all the time. Meditation is good, but it has to lead to action. And when we might make if we make a mistake, it's all right. It's okay. Stay strong like steel within, and having if you can, whatever purifies your mind and keeps you centered, keep that, because everybody has different ways of centering oneself. And this is one of mine. If I can't go out in nature, I'll bring nature to me. If I can't go out to up in the universe, up in space, I'll bring the universe to me. Because having a quiet place and being free is what, ladies and gentlemen, a state of mind is, as well as success is a state of mind. It always going to go back to that good old wonderful mindset. Man, having a stable mindset, isn't it a wonderful thing? But in order to get this, like I said on a podcast called 7 Ways to Free Our Mind, and one of those is to study our mind, body, and soul on a regular basis. But the only way we can do this is we have to find a quiet place, have a quiet place away from the noise. And when I say the noise, I mean things that, really, if it's not important, unless we're having fun and we're enjoying ourselves, because we always got to have that balance, got to have fun too. So we don't become consumed by being too rigid, we got to have some fun too. But the noise, I would say per se, we'll say Hollywood, celebrities, politics, we draw what we can from it so we can keep ourselves aware and somewhat educated. But the noise, sift through the noise. And having a quiet place can do this. And again, having a quiet place, a place where you can go and have your thoughts away from everything and everyone. What I always say, person, place, or thing. We have to shield ourselves from the toxic part of person, place, or things. And something I say a lot to kind of keep, like I say, I have different centering mechanisms. And another one is that our spirit never lies. I mean, that's just hands down. Whoever we are, whether we good or bad, our spirit never lies. And And we have to look at, whether individuals in the world, I'm just giving an example. We have to go off our spirit. Of course, a lot of us know this, but, it took a lot of studying oneself and, taking this walk serious and, and sharing with others and really taking in things from, that's positive and really taking advice and really using it. And when you see it working in your life, it's a very fulfilling thing, and you'll begin, if if you have a giving spirit, you want others, to feel that same peace that a lot of us have. And having a quiet place can help with this. It's therapeutic. It's beautiful when we can be our own therapist, but you have to have those quiet moments. Get away from the noise, the social media noise, the TV noise, the wrong energy in music, hip hop per se. We want to keep our mind, at a state where it's not overloaded. That's why we take quiet moments too, brothers and sisters, so we don't get overloaded with things, and and kind of teach ourselves how to regulate our emotions, so it don't get led into the wrong thing, so we don't jump off our impulses. You hear me talk about that a lot, because that's one thing that will definitely help us. And that's another reason why we have a quiet place, so we don't make wrong choices or wrong thoughts. Even if we come across something that we don't agree with, it's okay. We don't have to let it, we don't have to take things personal or be taken back. We just go to that quiet place. And of course, we talk to that great divine, because that's what leads us to that quiet place when we're connected to that higher force, higher power, supreme being, something that none of us can see. I always would show that full-on respect for that higher force, because the higher force, just like it's done in other brothers and sisters' lives, and my family and, my kids, and it's done some great, wonderful things in my life, So I will always show that honor and that respect to that higher force. I will never place a label on that great divine or say it's a he or a she, because it's more powerful than that. There's nothing on this planet that is more powerful than that great divine, So I'm standing on that. So, when you have quiet moments, and whatever that is, and I'll kind of explain what I mean quiet place too. Like I said, we all have our own paths. So this is mine. Like I say, if I can't go in nature, I bring it to me. But if you get the chance, to get in nature sometime, or whatever where your quiet place is, it could be in your house. Your quiet place could, maybe go chill in your car for a minute. Those are the pivotal points. I think in a person that's spiritually enlightened and really feel it and has been on this walk for a long time, things like that is what keep us maintaining and, really paying attention to things, and keep ourselves from getting overloaded by so many things that's coming at us these days. Because, with these phones and technology and computers and all this stuff, it can have you going real fast, moving fast. Sometimes you have to take those moments and stop, and, and think about things. And, like I said, don't take things personal and be taken back, and got to watch out for the fear mongering and all that kind of stuff. Get away from the noise every now and then, and get in your quiet place and talk to that great divine. Remember, folks, and this is something that I always say, and I'll say this on podcasts from time to time, that great divine has to say overall. Remember that. If we could keep this in our spirit, we won't take things personal, because that's who had to say overall. That's who has the overall power. So that's the things that we feel, things we'll come up with when we have that quiet place, And when we come out of that quiet place, we come out like a warrior. We come out swinging, of course, righteously, mentally, because it's always better to fight with the mind. You come across a lot of opportunities when we use our mind intelligently, and we avoid a lot of drama. We use our mind intelligently, mind, body, and soul. Study on a regular basis. And life will just, you'll find yourself just sidestepping, sidestepping, sidestepping. And it becomes natural, You'll begin to know oneself so much more, and you will become empowered when you take quiet moments, when you have a quiet place. And when I say shield ourselves from the noise, you already know social media is one of the biggest things on the list. You definitely have to learn how to navigate on social media. You definitely have to take quiet times from social media. And I've learned that the hard way, because social media, if you're not, like truly deeply aware of oneself, social media can fuck with your psyche. So, you really have to be careful. This is just an advice. Like I always say, folks, I suggest, give advice. I teach, suggest, and give advice, because I've gotten advice from other brothers and sisters. And when you become one with oneself from having quiet times, and you have a quiet place, and you shield yourself from all the noise, and you feel yourself becoming stronger, and you feel the action in your spirit, and you want to help those, and start with your family, and you work your way out, and you just want to help. And it don't matter if you don't have resources or you don't think just keep it in your spirit, put it out there, and you will move into action. Don't worry about what you can't do and what people say and all that. That divine will lead thy. So that's why we have those quiet places. So when we get all those different thoughts, what if I can't do this? Or what if I can't do that? What are they gonna say? What do people think about me? Skirt. Quiet place. Block out the noise. Fuck that. You are divinely chosen. If you've had wonderful things happen in your life, and you've helped others in your life, and you know that you have done right, you're not perfect, but you know thy heart, you're all right. You're okay. Just keep forging forward. Keep putting that good energy out there, because the more we go into our quiet times, when we block out the noise, the stronger we will become, and we will see things that we never saw before when we have that quiet place, and you will hear me talk about having a quiet place from time to time. And I want to reiterate, doesn't mean that we're selfish or we shut people out. It's just keeping oneself straight so we can help others. I think having a quiet place, wherever that is, it could be in your house, like I said, just from time to time, it really builds oneself. It really gets you in touch with oneself. And you will also develop that confidence, not a cocky confidence, but you will get to a point when you do this for a long time. And this is, it's just like meditating or praying. But the difference is when you begin to take it serious, and you begin to see it move from the thoughts that we harbor inside, when we do those quiet moments, when we start actually see it in our lives, and we see the results of it in people's lives that we are connected to. Like I always say, family, children, those we're connected to online that we care about, and in the world in general. The more we take those quiet moments, we will see the greatness in others. We will. Even if we don't agree. Remember, folks, I've said this before. We will know if a person is really truly do mean well, even if we don't agree with them. Or we always pull the good things from each other. We'll know who's not nothing but, if you're a righteous, I always say this too, if you're a 100% righteous individual, you're already in a good circle. So, and if you're in that circle, it'll be easy to see the toxicity then, when you keep yourself in it's not even a deep thing. It's just when you keep yourself in a good circle, surrounded by good people, whether it's brother or sister, those, like I said, the toxicity will be highlighted. You don't even have to worry about if you're going to see it or not. It'll reveal itself, So you just got to keep a loving heart, keep a giving heart, and, just stay away from the toxic noise. If you do music, stick to that. Whatever you love, whatever you like doing that make you feel good in a good way, nothing negative. Do that. Whatever it is that make you feel good, do that in your quiet time. I mean, a righteous thing now. I'm not talking about nothing negative or evil or anything like that. Something that can manifest something good, something that you don't have to, you want to see good and great things in life. And when you have these quiet moments, when you have a quiet place and you spent, decades and years, meditating in this quiet place so you can, empower oneself, it'll become natural. You'll immediately, any challenge that you come to or any so-called storm, you might think it's a storm. You've been to that quiet place so many times and worked out things, it'll become natural. So that, I hope I explained that well, because, whatever I experienced in life that helped me, that's what I'll share or teach or suggest to others. That's the best way to keep one's mind clear of bullshit in this world and this toxic noise, is to have a quiet place. And whatever road you're on, whether you pray, whether you meditate, everybody, and this is a given, I don't care what religion you're in, everybody has to have a quiet place. Whatever that is, everybody's path is different, like I always say. But I think it's very vital, and I think it's very important, because we're in this human body, and the brain is the most important, is the grand central of the whole body. So it's very important that we shape, in a good way, we shape our thinking, our mental. And, a good way to do this is to have a quiet place, so, cause that's what keeps me strong, even if that human side kind of, cause every now and then that human side is going to nag us. So, those quiet places that will help us to see things for what it is. And we will begin to see things clearer and more clear and more clearer, if I said that right. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's why you'll see me doing podcasts with, you'll see, nature, or like I got here, the moon shimmying off the ocean, because that's where one's mind is. And sometimes I'll even close my eyes and picture myself sitting right there, looking up at that moon shimmying on the water. And it's also romantic, if you got a significant other, that's a beautiful thing when it's quiet, no one else is around, you and your significant other sitting there looking at the moon shimmying off the ocean. It's beautiful, that's the beautiful things. That's what will keep us centered, So if you see me do these podcasts, and I call them nature podcasts. So if you see me do these from time to time, like me doing this, I consider this my quiet place. I really, when I get on here and speak, I really do meditate and think about what I want to say. And I only get on, which I know a lot of us do, especially if we're tapped in. I only speak when I feel something inspiring in one's spirit. And guess what, brothers and sisters? A lot of times I am inspired by other brothers and sisters. I love my brothers and sisters. I know we got some that ain't right out there, and I've been down. I've been, been through all my mistakes in adolescence. So I just my heart and that great divine and the, individual I am just won't let me hate, won't let me be negative. I've been investing in being positive for so long, and I always go in them quiet places. I've been doing this all my life. I'll reiterate one of the videos, one of my highest viewed videos. Guess what the title of it is? Silent Alpha Male. Because a lot of people can relate to that, because that's what will keep us sustained, brothers and sisters. And I don't care how spiritual you are or what you believe in, take those quiet moments to oneself as much as we can. So we can keep a grasp on things. Think about conversations you might have had with someone, or or something you might have did that you didn't like, or maybe you was over exaggerated on something, or something you could have did with with you got children or something, or significant others. We just think about little different things, And a lot of time it's to make us do better and we learn how to approach things in an intelligent way, and not let that human flesh step in. Because you'll hear me say this from time to time, brothers and sisters, the human flesh is not shit. Man, I feel bad for those who are led by their human flesh. You're gonna be a hamster on the wheel, real talk. So that's why it's very important, in my opinion, that we have those quiet places. So we won't be consumed and lost and taken in by the noise. And I mean things that is not good for us, whether it's something we're seeing or hearing or doing. So again, I'll say, always have a quiet place. But at some point, we have to take action too, because I hear the real ones out there that, we gotta take action. We can't just talk, and that's for me too. A lot of times when I'm on here, I'm talking to oneself too. Self-therapy is a beautiful thing, and I know some of us don't have that ability, or we don't know that we have it, because we all have divine abilities, melanated brothers and sisters, but some of us don't know we do. So, but one way we can find that out is having them quiet places, and get away from this fucking noise, So that was something that was tinkering around in my spirit. So enjoy those moments that you can get to yourself, if you can, and think to oneself. And it's for bettering, it's not to get away from anything or running or nothing like that. It's to empower yourself, because the more moments we take to ourselves, the stronger we will become, because we'll start seeing things. Things will start revealing itself, whether good or bad. So that's why, again, like I said, I know I've said this a couple times already, but that's why it's important to have a quiet place, so you won't get, like I said, you won't get taken down by the toxic noise. So that's my thought. That's my real thought, my spiritual thought. And I thank those that take the time, come in and listen to it, brother, because you could have been doing anything. So you took the time to come in. Thank you for coming in to another EBX discussion. Salute. And all the reachers and teachers that's been putting in that work. Salute. And I honor my family. Salute. Love my family always. And I honor your family. I honor your family. And I honor my children. And I honor their mothers. And all brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have the ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are, right now. One.